Hey, guess what, kids? Social media is dead.
Social media?
You mean the Facebook and things?
Okay, not really, but there are a lot of ways to monetize your creativity without relying on social media, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, everybody, I'm Saul Colt, the host of the License to Print Money Show, powered by Spreadshop. The goal of the show, for as long as they let me do it, is to show creative people how to make money from their creative life. So I'm begging you, please, 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 will you subscribe to this show? Smash the bell, do all that stuff. And the reason you should is because every Tuesday and Friday, we're going to cover ways to generate income from your creative life. Everything from growing audiences, the nuances of each platform, launching a podcast, and of course, most importantly, the secret to selling merch. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But speaking of merch, holy mackerel, this show is sponsored by Spreadshop, and I've had a Spreadshop for over a decade, and in my opinion, they're the very best online solution for selling all kinds of merch, like clothing, bags, and all sorts of things. That's my personal testimonial, and I'm going to do a proper ad read later in the video, so stick around. But today, social media. We're talking YouTube. We're talking Instagram, TikTok, even X. They've opened new worlds for creative people. It has never been easier and harder to monetize your creative life in the virtual world. The thing is, there is other huge, and I mean huge.
Huge? You sure it isn't just huge?
No.
Opportunities out there offline that sometimes get forgotten because all of the time commitment and for some the crutch of social platforms. It is really important to not ignore offline tactics due to the old saying, you don't build your house on other people's land. Meta, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram, they have a long history of changing their rules and making it harder to access and communicate to the audience you have built on their platform.
Thank you very much, Facebook.
And guess what? It's within their legal right because you agreed to it in the terms and conditions. So, how do you take advantage of offline opportunities? Well, there's lots of ways, but to start, you need to identify your skills. First things first, we've got to know, what are you working with? Identifying your creative skills is like mapping out the treasure chest of opportunities that lay ahead for you.
My name is Wayne White. I'm an artist. I make paintings, sculptures, puppets, and I even try to make some movies every now and then.
This is where your journey begins. Are you an illustrator? Are you a painter? Are you a clothing designer? It's important not to limit yourself. If you paint, you could probably also make signs. If you're an illustrator, why are you not a clothing brand making shirts? Experiment with various creative endeavors, and you might uncover hidden talents you never knew you had. So now that we've figured out an easy place to start, or now that we figured that out, an easy place to start is freelancing.
No, I got out. I'm freelancing now.
Freelancing is like your ticket to turning your creative prowess into cold, hard cash. It's like being a digital nomad of creativity. And there's a couple ways to be great at it. First you need to find some clients, obviously. And in the beginning, it's a good place to start with friends and family.
They say it's customary for friends and family to come down and give blood.
Let them know what you're up to. What are you great at? And what are you looking for? Ask for introductions or ask for projects directly. It is key that you deliver your best work with these people because you're not only representing yourself, but also the friend who made the intro. Another really valuable thing is networking. Networking is almost as important as the actual work. You need to get out of your house, your studio, your office, and attend events. Go to things like creative mornings, join meetup groups, and when you're at the events, make sure you talk to people, hand out business cards, make some pins or stickers, whatever.
Most people usually just take my card to be polite.
It would be silly to go any further, without talking about, what are you going to charge?
That's my fee.
This isn't a bail bond, Max.
Pricing strategies are a real thing. Pricing is never one size fits all. You need to really ask yourself, how good am I? What is the project? How complex is it? What do I think the client budget is? What are the local market rates? And here's the most important thing I can teach you. If you're a service-based company and not selling a physical thing, whatever price you come up with and you base it on the time, the materials, how much money you want to make, you should always, and I mean always, add 10% more to the quote, because there will always be, and I'm talking from 15 years of experience here, there will always be something that comes up to make that 10% really important. Okay, we talked about freelancing, we talked about all this stuff. Now it comes time to start selling. And please, when you get to this point, don't compromise your creative vision. Your unique style sets you apart and will be what people are drawn to. Be yourself. One place to start with selling whatever you're doing is traditional galleries, exhibitions, and local art spaces can introduce your art to a wider audience. One of my favorite artists of all time, Wayne White.
Beauty is embarrassing. That's right. I was going to tell you about that. What does that mean? I'll tell you. When we see something beautiful, truly beautiful, we're in awe. When raw emotion comes to the surface, tear comes to the eye. And that emotional vulnerability is embarrassing. It is. We don't want anybody to see us moved like that. We want to be tough.
He showed his first collection of paintings in a coffee shop in Los Angeles. Don't be deterred by the location. It's all about getting your art out there. The other way to sell your art is through Spreadshop. Now, before you go rolling your eyes and say, I knew this was coming, I am serious about this. Put your art on merch like shirts and bags.
Are we talking about selling art or selling stuff?
If you've watched any of the previous videos, you know I love Spreadshop. I have 15 t-shirts with my face on it that I on Spreadshop. But besides my love for them, it makes sense because having physical things is a great way to offer your art in different ways to different people. Not everyone can afford an original piece, but they can buy a shirt or a print, and if they love your work, they're going to want to support it. Creating and selling products inspired by your creativity can be incredibly filling. It's like turning your art into tangible treasures. But when you're thinking of products, whether it's Spreadshop, or maybe you make handcrafted goods, ensure your products are top-notch. Quality builds trust with customers. That's why I love Spreadshop. Their stuff is the best. Okay. You've got products, you've got a service, you've got all these things. Effective marketing and branding are your secret weapons. Build a brand identity that resonates. And even though this video is supposed to be about ways to manage without social media, when it comes to merch, you should share your items and brand on the platforms, as well as don't forget about email marketing and content creation to reach potential customers. And finally, let's talk about something that's super important and the least fun part of all of this.
Son, I pay taxes.
It's, of course, paperwork and taxes. It's like managing the backstage of a spectacular show. Here's how to keep your financial ship running smoothly. When I started my company 15 years ago, I didn't understand that the money coming in wasn't all my money. I know that sounds stupid, but, cut me some slack.
That's my money anyway, Jerry. I earned that money.
Don't make this mistake. It costs a lot of money later. You have to remember that you need to pay taxes on all money that comes in, and the amounts change depending on how you set up your company. If you're a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a registered company, each comes with its own tax and liability considerations, and you cannot play around with this stuff. Anyone who tells you to cut corners here, you should not listen to them because man, you can get in a lot of trouble. The easiest way to stay on the right side of history here is to maintain meticulous records of your income and expenses. Accounting software like Xero or FreshBooks can be your trusty sidekick. I've not only used both of them, I've worked for both of them, and I trust them both. When it comes to taxes, you should pay estimated taxes quarterly to avoid tax season surprises. It makes a huge difference, and nobody wants to be looking at a giant bill. It's scary. You won't be able to create it. It can shut you down. But also on a good side of it, don't forget to capitalize as much as you can legally on tax deductions for creatives. Home office expenses, art supplies, and equipment can be deductible expenses that really lighten your tax burden. I know this episode is a little different than the others, and we'll get back to platforms in the next episode and more fun things. But it's important when you're talking about monetizing your creativity, you look at all the ways and places. Social media is valuable and key, but it isn't the only way to make money as a creative, and people have to remember that, whether you're freelancing, whether you're selling your art, whether you're creating products or managing paperwork, remember that success in the creative world often requires both artistic and business savvy. So make sure you invested in all of those things on both sides of I don't know what I'm trying to think of. I'm at a loss for a cliche, at both sides of the table. Okay, that's today's show, but before we go, let's talk about Spreadshop, and I know we've done it 3 times already, but are you a creative individual looking to turn your ideas into profit? Are you an entrepreneur searching for a seamless way to establish your own brand? Or perhaps you're part of an organization aiming to fundraise and promote your cause? Look no further than Spreadshop, the ultimate solution for creating and selling custom merchandise online. Spreadshop offers an extensive range of very, very, very high-quality products, including t-shirts, hoodies, hats, bags, etc. The list goes on and on. All you do is upload your designs, and Spreadshop takes care of everything. No need to worry about production, inventory, fulfillment. All you have to do is visit www.spreadshop.com today and tell them Saul sent you. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips to fuel your creativity. We'll be back on Friday. We love doing this for you. We hope you're getting a lot out of it. And we'll speak to you soon.
We have some merch at the back, so...
Okay, bar, now?